Today on Eppy's Chop Shop, we do it doggy style so we can both watch X-Files. Today on Eppy's Chop Shop, yep.
Mars. Nope. Earth. Yep. Look.
What up, guys? And welcome back to the Chop Shop. And it's been a couple weeks, or a week at least, for you and I. I've picked up a new job that I'm holding down while the other job is shut down or understaffing, whatever they're allowed to do, blah blah blah. Anyway, I have a couple hours of free time on my Sunday because I volunteered to work today too. But what I want to get to is I've started working on a relationship with DJM Suspension, and I have shackles and hangers for my leaf springs that will be here on Thursday this week. And then hopefully this upcoming Sunday I'll have the time to install them. And before it rains, maybe. It's looking a little bit cloudy and it's getting windy. It's been real nice all day. But anyway, long story short, I'm gonna get this bed back off of here. And I had mentioned in one of the previous videos, these welds right here, that's what these rust marks are, as welds. I've been jacking this thing up pretty much by its bumper most of the time. And so there's a weld. And I don't really see the heat mark, but it's out here somewhere. One of them finally gave loose. If you see this side of the bumper is up higher than this side. While the bed is off, I think what I'm going to do is actually raise the bumper up, not sandwiched like that, but up like that. I like that accidental body line that happened way better than that one. While that does make the truck lower, it doesn't look as good. But we're gonna fix those brackets, raise the bumper. Bed's gotta come off so we can cut these hangers off. Reason being is this one's actually rusty and bad. I'm not gonna put an OEM one in there when I've got a company willing to work with me. The only downside, not a downside, I guess, my rear end of the truck is probably gonna end up sitting a little bit lower than I intended. And probably lower than the front. But whatever. This wasn't an extra lowering part that I intended for. I'm gonna have the clearance for it with my C-notch, but the shackles and hangers are another 2 to 4 inches of drop, and so she'll be sitting about like that in the rear permanently. The bumper tucked, but enough talking. Get this bed off here, get that shut cut out, get that frame cleaned up, get some paint on it, so when that stuff comes in, hopefully next week when I have time, I can install that stuff, put my leaf springs in, and set the pinion angle and stuff. And my apologies if I sound a bit hurried or rushed. I kind of am. I've not been in my garage all week. And again, I think it might storm, and the truck is kind of hard to move right now because, you know, it's on jack stands and stuff because there's no rear end in it. So, enough chitter chatter. I'm gonna get this bed off of here and get to work. Alright guys, so the wife and I clearly have the bed off the truck, and what I'm gonna try and get done out here. Got some sun going on, but we'll see. As you can see, this guy is nice and rusty and swollen, and it's just no good. And then the holes, we're dropping this thing, man. We can't have holes in our suspension, man. We're doing this the right way, right? Anyway, this is going. The other one's going. The front hangers are going. And I would like to add that I'm actually a dummy, and I literally just realized this as I was starting to make the video. as I thought that the DJ Amp kit was the drop came from just the rear brackets and the hangers. It's actually the front brackets and the rear hangers. I'm glad I realized that, because I would have been installing good parts on that bad bracket, and that's not gonna happen. So now both the front and rear set of brackets are going bye-bye, and the bumper's coming off. So this will be an OEM powder coated replacement from LMC truck, both sides. This will be an aftermarket DJM drop piece, as well as the shackles will be a DJM unit. So they're super dope. So let's get to work. Oh, all right guys, so check this out. Well, hello. Hi. My name is Bobby. Hi. What I got going on is okay. So I started recording this and then I stopped, because there's been a handful of things that I'm going to be attacking that I've done before and walked you through. So go back to old videos. Keep up. Literally just cut the heads off of the rivets here, and after I cut them bad boys flush, I literally just take my chisel here and start beating that in there, giving myself some space, and 9 times out of 10 these will snap loose. Sometimes one will hold on, and then that's when you just grab the influencer and just smack the whole bracket, and well, they come off. And then after that, I just cut and or grind them flush to the frame, and I just take my hammer and just a chisel or some sort of stamp, you know, any punch type thing. I mean, I'm kind of ruining this one, but it's an old one I've had laying around, and this is what I use it for. And I just use that center punch to knock them bad boys out. Now I have 3 more brackets and what, like 12 more of those rivets to get out, a neighborhood to make mad, a bunch of grinding to do, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump forward to that and maybe cleaning up the frame, slinging some paint. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to get stuff done, and I just don't want to show you the same stuff over and over again. I got stuff coming, got progress I got to make. It's my only day off. Only half a day off, quarter day off. I have days off. Boom. So there's the big front one. There's our little rear one. But check this out. I said I've just been taking and tapping these guys out. These lower 2 ones right here been fighting the hell out of me, and it didn't take me long to come around the other side. Check it out. The rest of them just go through the frame only. These ones, these lower ones, go through the frame and through a cross brace. So they're gonna fight me a little more. I might even have to cut the heads out the inside of those. But let me show you that real quick. Cut them out, and I'm starting to lose a little bit of sunlight. I don't know if I'm gonna get the progress done that I thought I was gonna, but I'm at least probably gonna get this one side off, do some grinding, and we'll see where I am at when I come back. Yeah. Ooh. All right, guys. Now that I've busted my knuckles open a few times, I got this guy out, and I've resorted to some heat, and I literally, again, I'm not gonna walk you through everything, but I just took my heat and I just worked it around the outside of the bolt, around the bolt, or the rivet. Anyway, not the rivet itself. And I did the same thing on the back, and I just kind of worked back and forth around it. See people all the time, they're trying to get a rivet or something that's stuck in a hole tight, and they're heating up the thing that's inside the hole. You're defeating the purpose. The purpose of heat is to make it expand. You heat up the outer object so it expands away from the inner object, which is at a cooler core temperature. So If you're fighting stuff like that, stop heating up the center. You're just making things harder on yourself. Wow. Alright guys, so it's getting late. It's 8 o'clock. I know the sun's still up, but it's 8 and I get up at 5, so I'm gonna have to call it quits. But got all them bad boys out. So I just a few busted knuckles, nothing out of the norm. But I was hoping to have actually both of these sides done and this frame cleaned up. And maybe I had the potential of even slinging some paint on this thing tonight. But however, I had a little bit of free time. I mowed the lawn. I washed all 3 vehicles and the lawnmower. Got the bumper off, the bed off, and the passenger side off. So I feel accomplished, man. I worked like over 60 hours in 6 days. I'm probably gonna have 7 days in the next week. So hoorah! All right, but I'm gonna jump forward. I don't know when I get back into the garage. Yo! All right, guys. So it's about a week later. Finally managed to make it home before the sunset. Sun. And my DJM suspension stuff came in early, as well as my LMC stuff. So let's check this stuff out. First we got here, you already seen, is our just rusted and destroyed original rear bracket. And just they're just OE replacements from LMC. And then over here, again, I've already seen this, but this is our original front bracket. Here, oh, it's our new DJM stuff. And just first and foremost, let's look at the thickness of that. That's some beef right there, and it's beefy like that all the way through. Then you sit them side by side, see where some of our drop is going to come from here. Obviously, 2 of them, and then over here we have our original hanger, which I had already taken the effort to clean up and put some propane bushings in, and now we're not going to use, but whatever. Here is our DJM shackles, and as you can see, they're also a thicker gauge metal than the factory, and wow, these are just, look at these welds and everything, man. This is a good product right here. I am so happy I coughed up the money and grabbed these things. But where's the beef? Right fucking here. But other than that, I guess what I have to do is I am still waiting on my boxed sections from Queen City. Not quite sure what the holdup is on them, but what I want to do is I'm gonna get this, I don't know, probably here back cleaned up inside and out, so I can get some paint on it, get those installed, and then same thing up here. Just clean this up, paint them, get them installed. I don't want a full-blown paint or thing, because see, the frame isn't boxed in yet. I don't have my stuff, but I'll have to get those guys on the horn, figure out why I've not heard back from them, and I don't know, when I jump back forward, I'll probably have this ground down, painted, installing some pretty beef, installing the beef. Oh! Again, a couple days later, finally back at the garage. And as I discussed previously, I was going to do some grinding and painting and cleaning. And that, my friends, is exactly what I've done. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and bolt on my DJM front bracket, my OEM rear bracket, and the shackle. In all honesty, it's super simple. The DJM comes with its own hardware. The LMC does not. I'm going to steal some of the DJM hardware to install this and just go get identical hardware from the hardware store. Other than that, it's literally just 5/8. These are just 5/8 nuts and bolts, washers, and it's direct bolt on. Now that we have cut and torched, we've done all the hard stuff. The new fancy stuff literally just bolts on. So I'm gonna get these on. I'm probably gonna grab my leaf springs and everything, suppress the suspension so I can kind of see what it looks like for the first time. So let's do it. Wow, guys, there it is. And this isn't fully compressed. This is as compressed as I can get it before the frame starts to lift off the jack stand. So as you can see, I did not intend on this extra 4 inches of drop that I did. That was not a thing that was in the original plans, but we had the room for it. But if the couple 100 pounds of the bed was sitting on here, I'd be able to push this up all the way and get a full representation. But I mean, look at this. This is a real nice setup, and it's just mocked up on this side because I need to steal one of those bolts to make sure I go get the same exact kind from the hardware. But here's that DJM drop piece, that drop shackle, and then up front, so we got their heavy duty drop bracket. And you saw in a previous episode, we cleaned up these leaves and put Pro 3 bushings in them. We got our heavy duty axle bracket here, and you can see like it's not even completely compressed yet. Obviously, when this bolts down, it's gonna raise that much more, plus the weight of the bed. This will sit much more low than that. This truck's gonna be sitting. This thing's gonna be sitting pretty damn low in the rear on leaves. We're gonna ride in real low with factory ride quality, factory. But I mean, look what we started with. We had, you know, some growtiness over here. More grody brackets, and you know, like I said, this one was real bad. This one was actually rusted away. Had holes in the bottom of it. This one had to be replaced. There wasn't anything wrong with this bracket, other than the fact that I just wanted the truck to sit lower. But again, you know, ugly growtiness. All cleaned up, painted. Aftermarket parts. Fuck yeah-ness. 6-inch notch. Still waiting on my Queen City stuff. But as soon as my Queen City stuff comes in, I can finish weld the crossbars here, get my gussets in, box my frame in. That'll allow me to find out my my shock locations so that I can get my shocks ordered and kind of start working on the rear end. And speaking of rear end, not touched it yet, but I do have rear end parts. Oh, hello, DJM. Got me a mini spool, y'all. And I didn't super chintz out. I just burned it together, actually. Coughed up the money to get myself a nice little mini spool. The appropriate pin, and some brass freeze plugs for the for Sandy's 302. Slowly acquired engine parts too. I know you've not seen that engine in a while, but I am acquiring engine parts too. As soon as the world opens back up and gets back to normal, we get to a machine shop. Because all I've been waiting on is the measurements to get the last couple parts I need for that. After that, we can start banging that thing together. But man, I mean, we still have a lot of work to do. I got to do this whole other side, but I've not had a whole lot of extra time. Look at that, bracket's already it's pushed up already past the bed. That's awesome. Not the bed, from the frame. Hell yeah. Oh man, it is so cool seeing this all cleaned up and the paint. I am excited. This thing is finally starting to look like something, like someone actually cares about it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's probably gonna be it for this episode, guys. As far as what's coming up, when I have free time, I'm gonna be obviously out here. I'm knock out this other side. I'm not gonna tag you along for that because we just did that. I mentioned I want to raise my bumper. I am gonna tag you along for that. God, I got tons of stuff going on still. Obviously, I got my mini spool, so I'm gonna rebuild the rear end. I got my wheel cylinders on the way. I had not necessarily had the intentions on doing these brakes, but I mean, if I'm gonna put a mini spool in it and replace these wheel cylinders that need replaced, doesn't make so much sense to put those brakes back on. I mean, they're drums, they're not your main brake, blah blah blah. I could just throw them back on and I'd probably be okay. I might just throw them back on and let them be. They previously weren't even working, at least on one side, because the wheel cylinder's locked up. But I don't know, we'll see what happens. If I know me, I'll probably buy the parts and complain about it the whole time. But that's it. Like I said, that's it for this episode. We're gonna be jumping back on the engine soon, so I'm hoping to. I'm even debating on ordering my mufflers. That's how close I am to starting to work on this engine. That I'm probably gonna finally order my mufflers, let them switching up. But I'd like to apologize for not kicking out videos the way that I normally do. The channel did continue to grow and then drop back down for just a couple. Whatever it is, what it is, man. I ain't for everybody. I can't steal everyone's heart. But thank you guys for hanging out. I hope to be out here a little more often sometime soon. Again, when life returns back to normal. Hopefully go back to the normal job. We're almost at 200. This channel is just slowly but surely. 200 is a small number when you consider the rest of the planet. But it's big to me, man. It's pretty cool that even sometimes like 20, 30 people tune in and just check this stuff out. And you know, when people hit me up and ask me questions or give me tips sometimes, it's just cool. But I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. Deuces.
Yep.